Hello, everyone. Welcome to another enlightening edition of Hardfire TV, our monthly program about classical liberal ideas. My name is Cameron Weber, and I'm the producer and host of Hardfire TV. Thank you for watching. Today's show is our second program with Matthew Morgan about affordability in New York City. Correct, Matt?
Correct.
Yeah, we did one about a month ago.
Affordability two, affordability-er.
Yeah, affordability. Yeah. So this is our second one. We did one a month ago and ran out of time because Matthew was running for city council,
Correct.
and there was the big buzzword, and still is a buzzword, carry on from Bidenflation. Bidenflation is still with us, and so affordability was the buzzword both in our local politics and national politics. Affordability. So we did a show about affordability with Matthew, at which just focused on housing, the housing stock,
Correct.
which in New York is about 50% of people's income.
Correct.
So we covered the major affordability issue. And so I wanted to ask, so you ran for office and you doubled the number of people who voted for you.
Double the number, the percentage of total votes stayed the same, but there was a fourth person in the race this time instead of three. So
Oh,
overall, um, you know, it felt like a step in the right direction.
and you vote Matthew Morgan NYC.
That's still up. People are
Right.
still checking it.
No, I mean, you're serious about this, right? You're going to run again for city council?
Most likely, yeah, unless
Most
some,
likely. Not for sure.
yeah. Well, I'm just saying I don't know what my life is going to be like in 4 years. So
4 years, every 4 years, not every 2 years. Oh,
you're
okay.
right.
Right. So this isn't really a political show. It's more of a political economy show about ideas. And so Matthew came on the show and we talked about the unaffordable ideas of socialism, basically. There was a
Correct.
socialist candidate for mayor and we tried to debunk all the bad ideas that this person had, but this person won anyway. So we're post-election. We have a socialist mayor coming to town, but Matthew says that the mayor will be kept in his place because of New York politics. In other words, New York State has to raise money for New York City's crazy giveaway schemes, right?
Correct.
And that's not going to happen, is what you're thinking.
Kathy Hochul surely doesn't seem on board,
Raising
nor does the
taxes.
MTA.
Ah,
So,
right, right. Well, yeah.
I mean, he's trying to bring on a team of talented technocrats. So we'll see.
Uh-huh. Well,
Uh,
the governor said no new taxes, right?
correct.
So how do you do all this spend giveaway stuff without any new
Right.
tax? So
I
it's
mean,
kind
the only possible way that it could get done, for instance, the free buses. I
of
mean, I've been thinking about this a lot. Is if he somehow does manage to maneuver free buses, it will come at a great expense. Either areas that are now currently transit deserts will
right.
not be able to receive new transit lines. The buses that
Oh,
do
the dynamism
exist,
is gone. The dynamism is gone.
right? So if
It's
we pull
quite
700 million
yeah,
out of the MTA fare budget,
yeah,
um, that money, even if he somehow does manage to get the free buses thing, it will come at an expense in lost potential for other areas. So these areas that now won't have buses that will still remain transit deserts will still remain car dependent and will still force people to have to drive into the city, which
yeah,
will still put people in the city in their cars, causing congestion, and the buses won't get faster.
right.
They'll be free though. They'll be
And
free.
right, it'll be free. And one of the problems also you mix made a good point, alluded to a good point, is that without paying for it, you don't have a supply and demand measurement. You don't know what
Right.
you don't know what the demand is. So you're
Right.
just generically providing stuff there
Right.
with no incentive at all to be efficient, with no incentive
Yeah.
to react to demand,
I
right?
mean, my best policy that I think that they should at least consider is maybe a 1 or 2 year temporary free bus
Yeah.
uh, plan just to draw people onto the bus and then
Ah,
be like, hey, this will eventually go away.
ah,
But for the meantime, we'll
free
do
bus.
it. The same way when Ubers were, I mean, I still talk about this with my friends. I used to get these coupons that I
Yeah,
could go from downtown Manhattan all the way to Fort Greene, Brooklyn,
yeah.
for $2.
Oh, really?
That's insane, but
Social social
it
media
did its
coupons?
job.
Social media coupons?
No, it's just like Uber would send you these coupons to get you to keep
Oh,
riding,
oh,
and
right.
Lyft did it too.
I remember that creative destruction and dynamic quite well. The
Right,
taxi drivers were fighting it tooth and nail. I mean,
right.
those taxi medallions cost about $1 million.
I mean, which was
And
a
then Uber
scam in
comes
the
in and they're
first place.
worthless. Huh? Oh,
Right.
yeah, it was a scam in the first place. Yeah, it was socialism.
But I mean, the city should take on a similar,
Rationing. It was rationing, which is socialism is rationing.
right. They should take on a similar type approach and be like, okay, we want to pull people onto the bus. Yeah, let's make it temporarily free with
Uh,
the upfront,
okay.
you know,
So
hey,
what
this
we're
plan
doing,
is going to
Matthew, what
wear
we're
off.
doing, right. So your original idea was how to make things affordable, the right and
Right.
wrong ways to do it. So now we're talking about buses, transportation. We're talking about
Transportation, correct. Yeah,
the right and wrong way to do it. And you say
right.
the right way is to do a trial and see what it's like. Not commit to a whole open-ended 4 year thing, but
Right.
give it a trial. Okay, yeah,
Right.
that's moderating a crazy nutty idea, right? I mean, haven't these free buses, don't they just deteriorate like any public good, any tragedy of the commons? They won't be taken care of. The drivers won't have respect for the buses. Passengers won't have respect for the buses.
Right.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, if we want to do something, if we want to do public partnerships,
Yeah.
um, public-private partnerships, where you go, okay, if the buses are going to be free, what we're going to do is we're going to sell um, bus stops to private corporations.
Now you're talking.
Um, yeah,
Instead of what they do now all the bus stops are owned by the New York City Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment. And
right.
those subsidized films, subsidized TV shows, those
Yeah.
are the premier spots.
So it's like, who doesn't
Yes,
want to own the bus stop and be
very
able
good
to
idea.
fill it with Bank of America logos, and this is the Bank of America bus stop, and we have our ads and
Oh yeah.
everything. And
Or I'm writing a new book. I'm publishing. It's going to be published on Cameron Weber Publishing. I can take out an ad and put it in the bus station. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, okay, cool. Uh, okay, so that's buses, but right. So we talk back to the election. There was some open referendums about housing in New York City.
yeah.
What were those and how did they turn out?
Well, basically, they are all just trying to figure out um, how can we make affordable housing more fast tracked,
Yeah.
and you
Oh,
know,
remove the city council.
right.
Right.
And
Which
then
was
they
your
also,
idea.
I mean, kind of
Decentralized. Decentralized. The city
right,
council, you're removing it from those specialized locations into the city. Well,
right. But it
which is
still has to go through a certain, yeah. And then another one was that if the city council rejected a rezoning, that
uh,
a three-person board of the mayor and the borough president and the
right,
speaker of the city council
right.
could veto it and
Right.
overturn it,
Cool.
because there was this unwritten rule that for the
So
longest
that's the right
time.
way to make it. That's the right way to make it affordable. And the outgoing mayor did that, right?
Right.
So, kudos to him.
Yeah, but everyone was like, "Oh, this is just you know, people are gonna lose their voices in the community and blah
Uh,
blah blah." And yeah, so
could be true. I mean, the borough president is the boroughs are represented there. That goes back. That's federalism issue. What's the ultimate sovereignty, right?
right,
You go back to the United States. It was supposed to be the states, and then ultimate sovereignty is no longer with the states. It's now with the federal government. Right?
correct,
Yeah. So I mean, those are interesting issues, definitely. Okay. So today, so the wrong way to make housing affordable is to freeze rents because then it just means things won't be maintained. So
right,
you get less rental property and worse maintained rental property if you freeze the rents. Yeah.
right.
So
I
let's
mean,
huh?
long story short is we need to build more. And
Yes.
if they think that building more affordable housing is a good idea, it's like, well, imagine pairing that
Yeah.
with market rate, if you're going to
Yeah.
make this one faster
Yeah.
because you know it's a good idea,
Yeah.
why
Mark.
not.
Yeah, that is the problem that we talked about in the show. Matthew Morgan discusses affordability in New York City was the set asides, right? There's the city you get permission to develop an area to build something privately, and the city maintains a covenant on 30% of the properties, you
Right,
know, for their own special interests that they give away, right?
right,
Yeah. So anyway, enough about housing. Let's talk about utilities.
right,
Utilities are a bear. I mean, the Biden inflation, electrical and gas expenses go up twice that of inflation.
right.
At least I'm seeing that. How about you?
Um, I mean, I made an episode. I mean, not an episode. I made about a 3 minute TikTok about
Oh yeah?
utility.
Ever since the pandemic, everything in New York City has gotten a lot more expensive. Housing, transportation, food, but a monthly expense that we all have that has also gotten more expensive is your electric bill. And there's a reason for that. It's scumbag mayoral candidate Andrew Cuomo, who you should 100% not vote for. In 2017, it was discovered that he was accepting donations on behalf of a company that was going to directly benefit from the proposed shutdown of the nuclear power plant Indian Point.
And I was discussing the shutdown of Indian Point, the nuclear power
Right.
plant upstate, and how that provided 20 to 25% of New York City's power. So that definitely had a very, very impactful,
Right, locally, yes, very good.
yes,
The
on
nuclear
on
power, yeah,
prices.
yeah, but the current president, he's allowing fast tracking of building of nuclear plants now.
Right.
So they're yin and yang, right? New York
I mean,
City,
yeah, but now they're talking about rebuild. Now Kathy Hochul is talking about rebuilding another nuclear power plant in
right.
New York, but it's going to provide half the power
Uh-huh.
um, of that, and
But
it's going to cost
right,
$8 billion. And it's just like, so we're getting pay. So we tore one down
yeah,
that cost 2 billion, and then on top of that, another 8 billion to build
yeah.
one that does half.
Well, that's because it's labor union workers
Right.
that do the building. Let's call it what it is. It's Keynesian
Yeah.
economics, right? So, 1 year in, after the Biden, so you get rid of the nuclear energy the efficient way, just to click some politically correct box. I'm green and I'm clean. And then a year or two later, you change your mind.
Right.
Give me a break.
Right.
And the anti-fracking also in New York State.
Right.
All right. So gas and electricity are expensive. I know that sometimes my energy bill is twice that which I think it should be, even after the Biden inflation era. During the previous presidential administration, electricity prices almost doubled, more than inflation, and which was the highest in 40 years. No wonder the Democrats lost the presidential election, and uh, so that now the pendulum swings to Team Blue winning more of this in these local elections.
Right.
I mean, I remember the first day President Biden's executive orders, he put 40,000 people out of work in my home state of New Mexico, Southeast New Mexico. They're ready to start on a new oil and gas project there. He signed all new projects no longer
Mm.
by executive order. 40,000 people have moved to that area to work on this project.
Right.
Oh, and you also say that solar and wind are taking too long. I mean, it was a pie in the sky.
Yeah, and I mean, I haven't really had anybody with a definitive answer of uh, if they can, you know, provide. Everyone's just like, oh, well, let's just use wind or solar, but we need
Oh,
all types.
exactly. We need a diversified portfolio. So you had
Right,
that like zero carbon. Everyone's going to zero carbon. It's like,
right,
go team, zero carbon.
yeah,
It's impossible goal, right?
it,
Germany does that, and their electricity costs are 30% more than the rest of Europe.
right, and they're desperate, and they are very dependent on the oil, the natural gases they're getting from Russia.
And Ukraine.
Right.
Yeah,
So now
right.
they're hurting there. But I mean, I've seen some videos that say that wind uh, turbines can provide, enough wind power can provide enough power to power a lot of stuff. But the thing is, like in New York City and New York, like It's different than in Texas where they have a lot of land
Ah,
to build those things.
yeah.
We're a much more confined space. We don't have that much open space like Texas.
I don't want to overblow the thing about the Texas turbines though. That was just Keynesian economics too. It was a trendy thing to do. The state took over a big tranche of land, out of private hands, and they built a bunch of these wind turbines, put them up, and they didn't work because they were such a new technology. And
Right,
it took 5 or 10 years for the technology to actually work. So I've been watching
right.
these in the Rio Grande Valley, these turbines, they just didn't work. And it took
Yeah,
many years for them to actually start working. I was going to do
right,
a TV show about, look at these turbines. Look at it's 40, it's constantly windy down there because it's on the
right.
Gulf of Mexico. I'm like, look, it's 20 degrees winds and the turbines aren't even moving.
Yeah.
And then I go down there the next year after watching this for 5 years. Then I go there down the next year and they finally got it moving. Part of it, right? But it was this Keynesian spent it up front without the maintaining money, which
Right.
the typical government way to do it. Right. And so back to nuclear energy then. Recently, Donald Trump has been doing this crony capitalism, this corporatism, where the federal government's taking equity interests in businesses. And he did a deal specifically with Westinghouse for government guarantees for 60 billion in nuclear power plants. Do you know about the deal?
Hmm.
60 billion for nuclear power plants, but that's, you know, a drop in the bucket compared to the IRA of 800 billion, right? So you had
Right.
the Biden administration doing 800 billion in clean and green energy that just gets wasted.
Right.
Right. So it's hard to compete with 4 years of Biden subsidies of almost $1 trillion to unreliable and expensive solar and wind energy. Crazy idea of having zero CO2. We can see why utilities have become so inflationary. Bad government policies, which have crowded out nuclear energy by subsidizing renewals. And I'll put up a graph here that shows how much people are no longer, the use of coal is way down, and the use of nuclear is down slightly, a lot less than I would think, but the renewables are going up like gangbusters. That's because of the subsidies.
Right.
But then you get a new presidential administration, you no longer have the subsidies.
Right.
That's what stop and start.
Yep.
It's like a grand Soviet experiment.
Right.
Besides the cost, there's also recent problems with reliability here in New York City. Have you had reliability problems, Matt, with electricity, Matthew?
Yes. But I would say, again, that kind of goes back to the fact that we don't have we took such a large chunk. I mean, the
Yeah.
city's only gotten bigger. There only more people have showed up since 2022 or 2021 when they shut down Indian Point.
Uh,
So there's more
um,
people trying to access the grid. And you took out one of the largest, like 1/4 of you know,
yeah. Well, right. I mean, I've never
and
had,
also CO2 emissions have gone up 20-25%
yeah,
um, since
because the
they did that.
electricity, yeah, because the electrical cars are subsidized.
Right.
But the electricity generations, but they use electricity anyway.
E- Exactly.
So anyway, I've never experienced electrical outages or shortages in the United States before. Only most recently in along Fifth Avenue in Sunset Park, we had electric outages
Okay.
in the commercial area along Fifth Avenue.
Mm.
And one of the stores that I would go to, the corner store, went out of business.
Oh,
It was
wow.
a new store. The electricity goes out, so then he starts running from generators, right?
Yeah.
Which for week, and he couldn't get the electricity fixed. So anyway, unreliability
Right.
is occurring out of neglect due to idealism
Right.
for this clean and green solution, zero CO2 solution, which is completely unsustainable. And it's proved unsustainable. So your point is the right way to do it is bring nuclear online.
Right. I mean,
Right.
I think we can definitely get to the point where we can get very close. We can definitely lower CO2, and I think it's a good mission, but trying to go from some to zero um, is
That's
big,
utopian. That's utopian. I mean,
right,
that's what they tried to do in Stalinism and Maoism.
right,
You know, these crazy things. Oh, privatize or nationalize all the farms. You know, what kind of disruption
right.
is that? 50 million people died. So I'm going to put up this thing from AI Overview that talks about the news report, June 2025, Brooklyn has experienced electrical shortages primarily due to extreme heat. So of course, this is coupled with clean and green is coupled with the climate scare. And so you see increased demand, hot weather, equipment strain. You're not getting the investment because there's no profit involved. Thank you. We just have 5 minutes left. And and then all only here, uh, historical context also reveals that New York City's power grid, including Brooklyn's, is generally more strained during summer months due to cooling demands. Additionally, aging infrastructure and a reliance on certain power plants contribute to potential reliability concerns, particularly with the state's goals for transitioning to cleaner energy sources. So you have to read the whole thing before you get to the bottom line, literally.
Right.
This idealist transitioning, right? I mean, both of us study finance, right? The best way to have reliability and profits is a diversified portfolio. Don't put
Right.
everything in one place,
Right.
just for some idealism. Okay, so it seems, okay, we just have 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
We have covered rent and we have covered utilities. Now let's look at groceries. What is the best way to reduce the price of groceries? Besides reducing the 10% New York City sales tax, which would be a good start.
Right. Well, I mean, I'll be really short with it. I mean, I've spoken about it a lot on my TikTok, and that is bringing shipping back, allowing for larger imports into the city, which will reduce costs. Also, property taxes, lowering property taxes on these commercial
Yeah, bringing
businesses.
shipping back, definitely. We
Yeah.
we chase all the shipping to New Jersey because of our labor unions here
Right.
and the corruption
Exactly.
and the
And
corruption.
that puts a cost on things.
Yeah.
So lower property taxes.
Liberalized shipping, which
Right.
includes the Jones Act, right? The
Yep.
ship navigational acts. So, you know, I think we can agree that the wrong way to reduce grocery bills is to have the city government selling groceries,
Right.
competing with the private market. I mean,
Right.
just from from an aesthetic standpoint, bodegas are often provide the character of a neighborhood.
Right.
And if the city's competing with these private bodegas, how can the private bodega owners, small business owners, family businesses compete with a competitor who gets free rent
Right.
and free utility
Right.
and it's not doesn't need to make a profit?
Yeah. I mean, Mamdani said to the Bodega Commission that they're going to not sell lottery tickets and they're not going to sell alcohol because the bodega people said that's a lot of their business.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not, I mean, the ones I go to don't sell lottery tickets and they don't sell,
No,
you
the
know,
necessities. They sell
right,
necessities. The idea, you either go to the locally owned bodega friend, neighbor on the corner, or else you go to the labor union key food,
right.
right? I mean, that's corporatism. I mean, that's the
Yep.
whole, you know, big power politics, both green, both blue and red.
Right.
Kansas City tried the city-owned grocery model and it failed. Let's put up the AI overview about the Kansas City model. Last bottom line, closure. In August 2025, the store closed its doors while the CEO noted security measures were costly and still not enough. And others have argued that the city investment itself contributed to a failure. In other words, if it's free, it's unsustainable. No one treats it with respect, and it becomes a source of crime.
Right.
And if the city doesn't enforce petty theft, you know, what's prevented from, you know, petty theft happening at the city-owned place, as it did in Kansas City. Right. Let me ask you, okay, we just have 1 minute
Yep.
left. Last question. Small business plays a role in your urbanist philosophy, correct? Can you tell
Correct.
us how and why this is it?
Well, I mean, small businesses are like the hallmark of libertarianism, free markets. They're the way that everybody can, have ownership, and they
Exactly.
provide a lot to local communities, and
Pride
local
of
communities
ownership,
depend
pride of
on them.
place. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, they do. Again, that's supply and demand.
Right. And they add a lot of character to neighborhoods. And
That's right.
so,
One of your ideas is to fix the property tax system to lessen the rent. What do you mean by that exactly?
I mean, the city is run by 30-40% of the revenue comes from property tax, so they don't want to change it. But a lot of burden falls on people who are already heavily burdened by other financial
Yeah.
situations, and the rich people kind of get away with not having to pay the big apartment buildings, the single family homes. So
Yeah,
we need to
well,
fix it so everybody's paying their fair share and it's not overburdening people.
yeah, by privatizing city-owned property. I mean, the NYCHA, administration has so much public property, so much public land that they could privatize and allow development on that land, right?
Right.
Widen the tax base. Anyway, we just have 1 minute left. I guess we can agree that central planning is not the way to a vibrant and affordable New York City. I'd like to thank Matthew for appearing on Hardfire to discuss the right and wrong ways to make New York City affordable. Thank you. Great to
Thank you,
have on the
everyone.
show. For
Vote
more information,
MatthewMorgan.nyc.
vote MatthewMorgan.nyc. And thank you to our viewers for watching. Our show appears on the Free Speech Network through the Brick Arts Media House 6 times per month, the third week of the month. We also have more than 75 programs about classical liberal ideas on our YouTube channel. Just search for Hardfire TV and Brooklyn Free Speech. See you next time.